remember in the gospel when Jesus was asked which of the commandments was most important? Jesus said, "You shall love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all your mind." And he added, "The second is like it. You shall love your neighbor as yourself." The straight and simple hope of Jesus himself is that we treat others as we would like to be treated. And in the corporal and spiritual works of mercy, the manner of following Christ's wish for us is made clear. With the corporal acts, we are to provide for the material needs of those who go wanting.
In the Archdiocese of Hartford, the Archbishop's annual appeal serves those needs in many ways, helping to fund more than 200 agencies. Columbus House in New Haven is one of them, offering a critical program for homeless people discharged from the hospital. Their medical respite program offers patients a warm bed, 3 meals per day, and medical supervision while they heal.
We have nursing services on site upstairs to help people really recuperate and get back to health before they move on to the next steps in their lives. We've heard and seen people who have moved through homelessness who actually work for us now, which is kind of a remarkable story. And we know how important our work has been to help them move on from homelessness into, more stability in their lives.
The respite program aims to keep patients from getting readmitted to the hospital and therefore cuts down on public health care costs. Columbus House estimates that it saves Medicaid at least $12,000 per patient in the year after they enter the respite program. It wouldn't be possible to do all of this if it were not for the Archbishop's annual appeal.
The Archbishop's funding is critical to help us continue to do the good work that we do and to fill that gap that government funding leaves. So it's vital to the work that we do.
St. Vincent de Paul Mission in Waterbury is feeding the hungry through its food pantry. The organization says it provides 40,000 to 60,000 bags of groceries per year. The people who rely on them are often in crisis or have fallen on hard times.
And then they have to make some very difficult choices. Those choices might relate to, do I pay for food or do I pay for rent? Do I pay for food or do I pay for my child's medicine? They're not looking for a handout, they're looking to survive.
We have a lot of people who actually are struggling, and this does help out a lot. It's a very good thing that we have a place like this over here, and that we have donors who are able to give help to us, and we really appreciate that.
The mission's ministry team has found that those they help want to give back.
I have a young boy that would come to the back door, and his mother, of course, couldn't afford to give him stuff for school, and we'd give him crackers and give him a little juice box and give him that. Well, that boy today is around 18 years old, and he comes in and helps us. He says, "You know why? Remember when I was a kid, I came here, you helped us."
St. Vincent de Paul Mission receives money from the Archbishop's annual appeal to run its 8 programs, including the food pantry.
So we need the Archbishop's annual appeal to operate. Without it, I have no idea what the clients would do. If the people that are in our community are stronger, we all benefit.
The South Park Inn has had its doors open nonstop since 1984, keeping men, women, and children warm and fed. But the shelter also looks to especially help homeless military veterans.
Some of them have had post-traumatic stress disorder, some have had substance abuse issues. Our role is to really help them in any way that we can.
South Park Inn serves between 20 to 60 veterans each week by designating a certain number of beds each night for them and offering a weekly drop-in program.
We recently had 3 homeless veterans staying in our shelter. They had never met before, and they became friendly while staying at the shelter. And through working with our case managers, etc., they realized if they combined their resources that they could afford their own apartment. So these three gentlemen are now on their own, doing extremely well. They have their own apartment, and they're able to support themselves, and they also have friendship.
Military veterans who've benefited from the program often come back to help out. Ronald Buxton is one of those people. The U.S. Army vet is now volunteering at South Park Inn as a counselor and coordinator.
I was homeless for 13 years, and look what I'm doing now.
Fellow U.S. Army veteran William Anthony Pitt Sr. also stops by South Park Inn regularly after they helped get him an apartment 7 years ago.
They take care of you, they clothe you, they give you winter coats, they give you boots, winter boots, and we have a lunch every Thursday for the veterans.
South Park Inn is so grateful for the help from the Archbishop's annual appeal, which has allowed it to keep helping vets in need.
We've experienced, like many human service agencies, very severe budget cuts. Really, what a wonderful day when we were awarded the gift from the Archbishop's annual appeal. It couldn't have come at a better time.
The Community Kitchen of Torrington serves about 60,000 meals each year, including a hot breakfast and lunch 7 days per week. But the kitchen relies exclusively on private donors because it gets no money from the state or federal government.
Without the Archbishop's Fund, we could not really do the things that are necessary to keep our people coming to the kitchen and feeding them and putting them on the right track.
So it helps with rent, it helps with electricity, it helps with buying food. Some of the food is donated, and it helps out with, day-to-day workings of the kitchen.
The people who rely on the food kitchen to eat every day don't know what they would do without it.
If we didn't have this place, we probably wouldn't be here. It's a savior. This is for all of us. Anyone that's homeless, even people that aren't homeless, but they don't have the money, don't have anything, don't have enough means to survive, this place provides.
So the food, clothes, warmth, and homes that our physical bodies need, these corporal needs, are served by those acts of mercy. Now, the spiritual needs of others are perhaps less obvious, but no less essential. The spiritual works of mercy include prayer for others and tending to the doubtful, the ignorant, sinners, and those afflicted. Jesus also tells us to forgive and to turn the other cheek, to bear wrongs patiently. No easy thing to learn or to practice. But another beneficiary of the annual appeal is where dozens of programs work to help people learn, grow, and practice their Catholic faith. That's at the Archdiocese Office of Education, Evangelization, and Catechesis.
This includes preparation for sacraments, adult formation, formation for parish leaders, youth ministry, and now increasingly young adult ministry, the Catholic Biblical School, as well as our Catholic schools throughout the 3 counties of the Archdiocese.
The Office of Education, Evangelization, and Catechesis also offers an 18-month training program for those wishing to learn how to run ministries in their parishes.
By forming leaders in our parish communities as well as in our Catholic schools, we believe we are assisting our priests throughout the Archdiocese in giving them others who can assist them in their important work of evangelizing in the parishes.
A real practical example of the corporal and spiritual works of mercy can be found in our Catholic schools. The Assistant Superintendent of Academics for the Archdiocese shares one example from when she was a principal.
At one point, we had a child who did something he probably should not have done and had a bit of a suspension in school that day. And it was a snowy morning the following day when he was supposed to serve it. So I got up in the morning and I got to the school very early to make sure that everything was set because of the plows and whatnot. This child was already there shoveling, never being told or asked. And I said, "Louis, what are you doing here?" He said, "I don't want my teachers to have to walk through the snow to get to school today." to get to the classroom. They're going to be here, and what can I do? And I thought, your punishment is served.
And isn't this just the sense of service for others that the Archdiocese seeks to instill in all of its students? And therefore, each child enjoy a personal relationship with Jesus.
They go by and they can look at a statue of Jesus, and I've seen a little child, a 3-year-old, say, I know him. And that's beautiful. That's what it's all about. And those are the relationships that they're building.
And the future is being built with a pastoral planning process to better serve the Archdiocese. In some cases, consolidated Catholic schools, like this new combination of student bodies at the Catholic Academy of Waterbury, present Catholic values of service to others as well as the classic stream curriculum. That's a combination of science, technology, religion, the arts, and math in a curriculum preparing students for a scholastic career of excellence as well as an appreciation for service to others. So thanks to the generosity of people like you who value the benefits of an education in Catholic schools, parents unable to financially provide for their children are receiving support. With scholarships and tuition assistance, their children can attend Catholic schools for a quality education available nowhere else. Now it's up to us to do the good things that Jesus wants us to do. Like the meager offerings of barley loaves and fishes in the Gospel miracle account, what we generously provide can combine and be multiplied to serve a multitude who need our assistance in a contemporary miracle of our own. Thank you for what you can provide.